Hey everybody, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program Challenge Accepted. We are continuing our 1940s race into space with Trandroid Gaming, and this is the initial rocket that I have built for hopefully putting something into orbit. We're really hoping. Our initial build time on it's 180 days, costing about 4,600 a piece, although that's not accurate because I don't have these fairings on, so the price and the tonnage is going to go up a little bit. But basically fully fueled, we've got 10 kilometers per second of delta V, and so I'm just going to go over real quick how we got there. So up at the top here we have a tank, and you will notice that this is tank type default, which should not work for the Aero engine. But as a little exploit that I've picked up by watching other people's streams and not something I've usually employed myself, I have this tinier tank down here, which is a fuselage tank and is pressurized. So the fuel will feed from this top tank that is very light and holds lots of fuel into this tiny tank that is pressurized, thus pressurizing the fuel, making it work for our tiny little Aero engine and helping it burn. So we get the advantage of using a lighter default tank but pressurized engines, and that works out really well, especially because I did it again for the stage right below it. We have another default tank with ethanol and liquid oxygen for 4 XLR-11 engines, and then right here is the pressurized tank that feeds the engines. We do have an RCS system down here because these engines do not gimbal, and I would like to spin this stage up to stabilize this one for its trip into orbit. Below that we just have a very basic default tank powering a single A4 engine, ullage motors, etc., and a controller core. There's an A4 core here, we have a sounding rocket core here, so this is completely unguided. This has SAS and all the bells and whistles that I need because I'm a terrible pilot. Here's another A4 core to compensate for tonnage. So below that stage we have twin A4 engines on just another standard default tank. They will ullage also. And then below that, we'll just zoom it out a bit, we have our launch stage, which consists of 5 A4 engines and some spangly fins. So I've taken a lot of advantage with these very light default tanks. I mean, they're not super light, but they are light compared to the fuselage tanks and everything that we had before. So actually I am going to separate, no, that'll be fine. And then those engines light, and then this stage sep. So yeah, we're just ignition, separation, ignition. Come on, there we go. Sep, RCS, ignition, because those don't require ullage. We're going to hot stage our Aero and then separate it off and have it go to town. Boom, boom, yep. Alright, so looking pretty good. I know our avionics is a bit over, but the big concern now is we're at 95 tons. Our pad is rated for 40 tons, so we're allowed to fuel on the pad. We're just going to go ahead and drop the fuel out of that. Gets us down to 7 tons. There's 7 tons overweight. Alright, come on. There we go. 29 tons. Fantastic. Alright, so we'll just hit save there and add, I'm going to add 2 to the build list, just in case. Alright, so let's head on out here. Alright, and we'll just bring up our doohickey here. Fantastic. And we're going to rush build the hell out of it, because I'm not waiting 180 days to launch this thing. This is a race, man. So we're just going to spend a good chunk of change getting this down to a couple hours perhaps. Oh boy, that is really like all of our money. Oh man, that is literally all of our money. I'm really putting things into one great big basket here. Alright, 16 hours, I think we can take that. Let's just go ahead and work to complete. And roll it out. That takes a day and 7 hours. Oh, thank God, it's daylight. I don't have to waste any time. We're at year 1, day 50. Launch. Alright, so we just need to let our rocket fuel. This is the tank that's probably going to take the longest, so we'll just engage in some time warping. Let that thing kind of happen. Alright, fantastic. We are fully fueled. We're showing our full Delta V stats. SAS is on. Throttle is set to full. Ignition sequence start. Please, no failures. Alright. All engines are lit. We're looking pretty good. We won't have avionics for the first couple of seconds of flight here. We just need to burn off a chunk of this fuel, and then it will give us control. So here's hoping. Alright, if it could unlock right around now, that'd be great. I'd like to start my gravity turn, please, sir. There we go, unlocking avionics controls. We're just going to give it a degree or two of pitch. Oh, come on. Don't do this idiotic wiggle thing. Alright, about 30 seconds of fuel remaining in our first stage. So far, so good. Everything seems to be right on the board. I really expected one of those 5 A4s to fail, but I don't want to jinx it because that probably means the failure is further up the road, and if it's on our single A4 stage, that could be absolutely catastrophic. Alright, 500 meters per second, 13 kilometers altitude, 5 seconds of fuel remaining. 3, 2, 1, flame out, SEP, ignition. Oh no! SEP, ignition. Why did that one light? Well, that's weird. Oh. Oh, I think I know what's going on here. Oh, this is a problem. I think our stage separation and was too low in the atmosphere. I've seen this on Tyler Riez's Twitch streams for his collaborative space program. Rocket, the first stage would separate pretty low in the atmosphere and just fail to ignite because the drag the drag has enough deceleration force to pull the fuel away from the engine and causes it not to light. That is really interesting and also tragic at the same time. Alright, about 15 seconds of fuel left in this stage. I would like more altitudes, please. So maybe I should fly more in an upward direction. This is turned into a technology demonstrator of my cheaty fuel tank system. That oh, stage, RCS. I should have turned that on a while ago. Come on. Bring it back. Bring it back. Bring it back. Oh no. Oh no. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Yes. There you go. Well, that gave us all the altitude we'll ever need. So let's just get it aimed down to the horizon. The fact that these engines are working is a miracle of modern science. Is this tank not being pressurized? Oh, that one's draining? That's interesting. That one's draining also. I need to start this spin move. It looks like they're draining at the same rate, because it would be tragic if this one ran out first, then that one won't fuel the engine. And that's, we're off axis. Come on. Dang it. Alright, we're going to run out of nitrogen in just a second. Oh, it already ran out. This is not nearly enough spin. And we're spinning off axis. 5 seconds of fuel left. 2, 1. Aero be light. Separation. Not nearly enough spin. Oh, that's a problem. That is actually quite a very large problem. There's no way this thing's going to make it into orbit, is there? Nope. But it's working. That's what matters. This tank is pressurizing the fuel from this tank. And we're getting a good light and a solid burn on all of it. So that's fantastic. Alright, there's flame out. Definitely not an orbit, so doesn't really qualify for much, but technology demonstrator works, and I think I know what to do to solve the problem. So we're just going to go back to the Space Center. Alright, let's bring up our VIB list for our other Dark Horse and edit. Alright, so we got this thing. It mostly works. We just need to get more altitude off of this launch stage. And I think well, hold on. Let me put this fuel back in it just for a second. What's our total runtime? 1 minute, 10 seconds, almost exactly. Okay. Good, good, good. So, I guess we're going to have to add a booster stage. So, I'm going to build this out. I'll pick you guys up in just a second. Okay, well, I really hope that's going to do it. Just, it's not much, but it's a little extra oomph from some XLR11s that'll hopefully get us to a little bit higher of an altitude. I guess we're going to have to just see what happens. But it's telling us 237 days to build one of these. So we're going to have to, pull some strings. Alright. So we've got like $3 grand in the bank. Let's see how much rush building we can do for this. Not a whole lot. 173 days is what we've gotten it down to. So let's go get a loan. Over here at the admin building, they'll basically give you money and take away reputation, which we don't need reputation because we're not interested in contracts and such. So we're just going to take this a couple of times to basically fund ourselves, I should say, and to the tune of 71 grand. Let's go see how much rush building we can do for this thing. Although, honestly, I would like to duplicate it. God, that's a lot of money. I probably shouldn't have done that, but just in case something screws up. Alright, rush build. Rush, 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 rush. Down to a month. 20 days, 15 days. Oh yeah, we can get this to launch in just a couple days, really. We're reconditioning the launch pad. That'll take a day and 7 hours. So let's just shoot for something along that line. Yeah, there you go. Alright. Ooh, and free money. Recover our old launch clamps. Fantastic. Alright, so reconditioning the pad. Work to complete. Alright, and Dark Horse 1 will be done in 13 hours, 9 minutes, 18 seconds. That does put us into day 52 plus rollout time. Alright, rollout. That's another day. I don't like this. Oh, it's nighttime. We're day 54. Let's just go ahead. Warp till morning. I will accept the loss. We're still day 54. So, alright, let's launch. Now, some overheat warnings on our XLR11s. No, not a big deal. Okay, good. Our pumps are on, so let's time warp until this rocket is fueled. Here's hoping. Right? Okay. Come out of time warp. Everything is fueled up. We're ready to go. SAS is on. Throttle is set to full. Ignition sequence start. All engines are lit. Clamps are off. We're up to 105 tons total wet mass. That's very interesting. Alright, there's our normal overheat warnings on the A4 engines. That is nothing truly to be concerned about. So we're just going to wait for a while until we get our avionics unlocked, which will probably be soon to soon-ish. Not soon enough. We'd like to start this gravity turn, please. Come on. Did I miss it? No, I did not miss it. Uh-oh. Well, we know it'll unlock well before stage set. There we go. Unlocking avionics. We are near 250 meters per second. And we can start to see some shock effects while we're starting to lean into our gravity turn. If we could just lean into this a little bit more. 30 seconds left to burn. Come on. Oh boy, we need a lot more altitude in the next 10 seconds or so. Come on. Wow. Alright, well, our rate of climb is probably fairly substantial. There's flame out. We're just going to let this coast. If you could just stay coasting in the straight line, please. I'd like just a couple more kilometers altitude. I know this is super antithetical. 9:30, stage set, ignition. Yes, we have good light. All right, and let's just pitch into this thing. So those XLR-11s did not buy me nearly enough altitude, and hopefully that pause there didn't slow us down so much that we will not achieve orbit. Although the numbers over here would seem to indicate that we're in good shape. I guess it just matters a lot about our flight plan, and the steering losses here are going to be just massive. And what is this wiggle all about? That is really disconcerting, SAS. So it looks like you're overcompensating for things that aren't there. That's very interesting. Alright, 20 seconds left on this stage. If you could not be bouncing around like that come stage set, that'd be great. Yeah. Alright, let's try to build our time to apogee. Stop wiggling. I really don't need this from you right now. Stage set, ignition. Good light. Oh, thank God. Just please stay lit. So yeah, what's our... Oh, let's bring this up so we can see. That's our whack corporal. Where's our A4? Okay, good. We are building meantime to before failure. You can go away now. I need to pay attention. Alright. Current apogee is at 128 kilometers. Why are you bouncing around like this, man? Alright, come on. Just hold still. Please, if you could. Let's get a little altitude under our belt here. We got about 20 seconds left to go. So if you could just knock it off with that so that our RCS system doesn't have to deal with it, that'd be really nice of you. Come on. Alright. If we could just keep this as close to here as possible, I would like as much of this RCS to be used for spin. Stage, RCS on. Come on. Bring it back, bring it back. Don't aim down. Right across the horizon, please. Right there, yes. And let's start to spin it. While we're still traveling in a straight line would be even better. Alright, we have hit space. Coming dangerously close to our apogee. Alright, we will separate onto the Aero stage before we hit apogee, and that will, the thrust to weight ratio there is just kind of ridiculous, so Not very concerned. I think this is going to work. Alright, nitrogen is depleted, so this is as much spin as we're going to get. We'll just turn our SAS off. Not that it's going to do us any good. Alright. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, Aero ignition, set. Alright, we're in Newton's hands now. We're starting to see some wobble from our prograde vector. Oh boy. Let's not let that wobble get out of hand, please. And please don't let that Aero fail. Almost there. Almost there. Camera change. Come on. 6. Keep going up, Periapsis. Just keep going up. 140! That's an orbit. Whew. Oh, that... Oh god, that had me so worried. 5.27 million by 141 kilometers. By the rule books, to my understanding, that is in fact an orbit. Super elliptical, but man, it's... Or eccentric is the word I was looking for. But it is in fact an orbit. Yes. Whew. Alright, let's head back to the Space Center and check our total time. Alright, year 1, day 54, 12 hours, 37 minutes. I am not upset by that, although I think really had every launch gone super smooth, which it obviously did not. We could have done that in, like, what? We lost 3 days, and really I could have speed build. If all launches had gone perfectly, if we'd gotten all the science on our first launch, that would have saved us 5 days. So that right there puts us at day 49. If the launch of our orbital test vehicle, which had it been built properly and not experienced an ignition fail on the second stage, that would have saved us, like, what, 3 days? So that puts us at, like, what, day 47? No, day 46? So plus rollout times for 2 launches being about, we'll just say a day, day 45, and extra money from build time spent. We'd say you could probably do this in 40 days. Oh no, because research time. Research time is your limiting factor. That's really interesting. I'm tempted to find out what the absolute minimum is, but this is my submission. 54 days, 12 hours, 38 minutes. I'm pretty happy with that, so we'll just we'll take it. So, hooray! Thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing how this challenge shapes up. I have no idea who's ahead or who's won or any of these things, but I'd love to hear from you guys. If you can do this at a faster time, I'd love to see some videos of it. I'd love to know where I went wrong, although it's pretty obvious with the that first Dark Horse 1 launch what went wrong there. But anyway, let me know what you think, and thank you so much for hanging out. I do appreciate it. I will see all of you in the next one. So until then, see you later.